Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So before we start discussing on this particular verse, I would like to seek the blessings of Prabhu Mataji and all the Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis here. ಯಾರಿಗಾದ್ರೂ ಕನ್ನಡ ಅನುವಾದ ಬೇಕಿತ್ತಾ? ಎನಿಬಡಿ ಕನ್ನಡ, ಹಿಂದಿ? Okay. So we welcome all for the Sunday morning feast program. So some devotees are gone to very nice Dwaraka trip and returned. So we are blessed to have the association today. So this particular sloka here, Ashwatthama is punished by Arjuna. We know the background, what Ashwatthama did. He already killed the 5 sons of Draupadi, and Arjuna had taken over that, I will kill him. So Arjuna arrested Ashwatthama, brought in front of Draupadi. At this stage, as a wonderful devotee and a mother, Draupadi says, don't kill him, leave him, let him go. Other side, Krishna says, kill him, he is deserved to be killed. To various shastras example he gives. Bhima also says, kill him, he is to be killed. Yudhishthira says, I will follow with what Draupadi says, he should not be killed. So situation in front of Arjuna was to what to decide. What is the decision he has to make? Either kill or not to kill. So in this particular verse, it said that he killed, punish Ashwatthama, and at the same time keep up these vows, and at the same time keep the instructions of both. One side Draupadi, other side Krishna and Bhima. So he has made a right decision which is pleasing to Krishna as well as Draupadi. So the point we will discuss today is in our life also we may come across this kind of situation where we have to make a decision. We have to certain time decide this way or this way, right or left. Sometimes we may not have much choice also. So that time, what should be our mood, what should be our decision? Let's try to discuss on that. Maybe I will request devotees to contribute on this so that we can discuss on that. Normally in our life, what kind of a situation is normally gives us a conflict? Here Arjuna is faced with a conflict and a decision making, correct? Conflict is that 2 instructions he gets simultaneously. Draupadi says release him, Krishna and Bhima says kill him. So he has in front of a conflict and he has to decide. Normally in the corporate world there is a lot of preaching going on, conflict management, decision making, lot of but the mood there could be different or is different. The mood in a devotee is different. Here mood of Arjuna is not of a corporate mood. His mood is to please Krishna, at the same time keep up his vows, keep up his Draupadi's instructions. So this is the mood in which Arjuna is working. So in our life also we may come across this kind of a situation. It could be in our day-to-day house management, could be in our office, or could be dealing with the devotees. Any situations we may come across. So can somebody throw some points where this kind of a conflict will be there?
Between our what family members say, something, more materially suitable, conducive, and then what the guru or the spiritual
Yes.
saying.
Yeah. So family or bhakti or family or guru, is that point?
No, instructions.
Instructions.
Whether it be more material or spiritual. Maybe to see what is more materially comfortable, or take up something which is little materially not so comfortable, but spiritually more.
Yeah. Yeah, that's one situation. So generally, what we do, which is more comfortable, which is more because anyway, guru is not here; he's not going to see. So let me go with the family. That could be one of the option, right? Or the devotee who is strong. Yes, my intention is to please my guru. He may decide to pleased. You bring family to guru so that both are pleased. So we have 3 options, So similarly, any other situation?
Many times here it's a question of killing that, but many times whether we can speak to that this thing correction to a devotee or something, whether how he will respond. We have to process a lot. Then only we can because the strength of relationship is not established or not there, and that is one side. Other side, am I acting with right mood, intention, qualities, everything? We don't know what is the right action at the time.
Yeah.
We are going live, is it okay?
Yeah.
And also our own ignorance also there. We don't know. So many internal struggle is there and external situation struggle is there.
Yeah. So to take the guidance from what Arjuna did here, Arjuna's mood is to please Krishna, at the same time keep up the vows he has given to Draupadi. So maybe in our life also we have to keep that in mind. Is that my action is going to please Krishna, or is that my action going to please my guru and Srila Prabhupada? That is the question we need to ask ourselves. If that is pleasing, then we have to action accordingly. So Prabhupada many times says there is no one instruction for one situation. When our same situation can have different instructions. So many times Prabhupada, his disciples used to say, morning get up and do your rounds and Mangalarati and book distribution, like that. There was a case, a devotee who was always sleeping, he was not even chanting. So for him he said that just chant 16 rounds, balance sleep, no problem. Because the instruction is not that for everybody to chant and sleep. But for him, he's not even chanting, so for him this instruction. So point is that, so similar situation, instruction could be different. So point is that my action is going to please my Guru, Prabhupada and Krishna. If this is the guidelines, accordingly, that's why Rupa Goswami says, whatever action pleasing to Krishna, accept it, whatever action not pleasing to Krishna, reject it. So that is the guidance. So at the same time, is that my action is under the influence of 6 envies, 6 kama, krodha, mada, matsara, lobha? Is that influenced by any one of these 6 enemies of life? If my action is influenced by any one of them, then my influence is there. It may not be pleasing to Krishna. It may not be pleasing to Guru. So that is the point. So one of the cases Prabhupada says, many of the conflict is because of lust, anger and greed. If these 3 is taken out, conflict is not there. One of the Acharyas says that when all of us do our work rightly, as per the instructions of Srila Prabhupada and the Guru, there is no chance of conflict or less chance of conflict. The conflict comes when these 3, mainly lust, anger and greed, or maybe envy, that comes, the conflict comes. So here also Arjuna was faced with the situation, but he took the instruction of Krishna and it did such a way that Krishna is pleased. At the same time, Draupadi also pleased. So we have discussed two cases. Like similarly, sometime, like Mataji said, going to the office or attending a program. It could be a conflict. Boss morning calls and say that this work you have to finish today, come. So here Mangalarati is there. So what is my priority? Which one you decide? So again point comes, what is that office will give me? Yes, it will give me some money for substance for some days, but what is this will give me here? It could be a long-term and eternal relationship with the Lord. So again, we have to weigh the situation and make a decision. Similarly, sometimes, especially for grahasthas, if one of the spouse is not favorable, this kind of a situation will arise. That spouse says, you stay back or take the children to picnic or whatever. And other side will have spiritual programs, temple programs related. So this could be a conflict. So again, like many times Mataji was saying that how we could involve the full family in the Krishna conscious. So that is the intelligence of a person, how we can bring everybody. At the same time, the family is also pleased and we are connected to Bhakti and pleased to Guru. So this again depends on case by case, situation by situation. We have to use our intelligence, keeping the yardstick clear. If yardstick is that I am going to please my Guru, I am going to please Srila Prabhupada, I am going to please Krishna, and my decision is not covered with these 6 enemies. If this is the case, I will be making the right decision. Similarly, there are some instances in Srimad Bhagavatam. Now very soon Damodar month is coming. Next week, I think 11th Damodar month is starting. We all know the Damodar pastime. Mother Yashoda was feeding little Krishna. There in the kitchen, she had kept milk for boiling. So milk was coming out. Krishna was taking milk from her breast. She had choice there. Either run to the kitchen, save the milk, or leave the milk, go to continue to feed Krishna. Correct? So there was a conflict, or there was a decision to be made. I will not say conflict, I will say a decision to be made. So Mother Yashoda decided to leave Krishna, run to kitchen. It could be, I cannot judge why she has done that. So it could be one Krishna's pastime. With that, whole Damodar Leela comes out. That is a Krishna's sweet will. That's why we have Damodar Leela today. And that's why we are able to glorify Krishna the whole month. The whole Kartika month, day and out, we can go out to street and explain to devotees about this wonderful Leela. So this is a Krishna's pastime. But Mother Yashoda had a situation where she has to make a decision. Similarly, our cases also, many times this kind of a situation will come. So maybe at that point, maybe Krishna was not pleased with the mother's decision, leave him. But later on, whole pastime is unfolded. With that, Nalakubera and Manigriva, they were released. So all the pastime happened because of that particular decision of Mother Yashoda. Had she not left Krishna, maybe Krishna fed, maybe this Leela would not have been there. So this is Krishna's sweet will. So the question arises, in such situation, normally what we do. So I was hearing a lecture that the Prabhu was explaining, generally we'll have 3-4 choices given a situation. We may fight it out, the first situation, saying that whatever I am saying right, I am right, that's a fight, Whatever the situation, I can defend myself, I can blame others. I am right, you are all wrong. That's the first way of maybe I'm not saying first. This is one of the way of action. Here, Arjuna also could have done that. Arjuna could have told Krishna, Krishna is all because of you. See, I told you I will not fight. I will go to forest, but I will not fight. But you instead of that I should fight. Because of that, all this happened today. My son Abhimanyu was killed. My all other Draupadi's 5 sons were killed. Or so many other souls killed because of you. Arjuna could have put forward this argument, right? It's all because of you. Because if you are not insisted that I fight, I would have given up my fight and war would not be there. Or he could have blamed Yudhishthira. It's all because of you played dice wrongly. It's all started. If you had won, maybe this situation would have been there. So like that, he could have put so many arguments or so many reasons to defend himself or blame others. In our situation also, when given a situation, first thing we may do that. I will defend myself. Yes, I am right, you all wrong. That could be the one. The second situation is compromise. So just on the blaming part, I was hearing one lecture by His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj. He, in one of the lecture, he gives a case where there was a lady who was into immoral activities. Not only that, she was into drug peddling. She was taking drugs and distributing. So in that city, there was a lawyer who was dead against for this kind of activity, and he fought in the court against her and made sure that she is punished. She was put behind the bars, jail, I don't know, 10 years, 20 years. So after that, one day this lawyer went to meet this lady and tell her that, see what going to happen if you do like this. So he wanted to kind of discuss with that lady. So during the discussion, he asked the lady, why did you do this kind of sinful activity? Okay, immoral, at least maybe your choice, but drug peddling, you are killing the whole society. Why did you do this? So that time she narrates, she says that, see, I have 3 kids. My youngest one is just 2 years. My husband is a drunkard. He left me, and there's nobody to take care of my kids. And there was nobody to feed my kids. I had no choice but to do this kind. And today, I don't know where are my kids. What do they do? Is anybody is feeding? Are they taken care? I don't know. Now, this lawyer transformed. He says, maybe I made it wrong. I could have spoken to her before. Maybe I could have changed her from this activity than putting her behind the bars. So the point is that had this lawyer had this information about her background, maybe his approach could be different. So given a situation, when we know the background of why this person did like this or why this person doing like this, maybe our decision could be different. Correct? So that's why normally say that in corporate world also, before punishing, give other person opportunity to speak, hear from him, understand, then come to judgment. But many a time we don't have the patience, or we don't bother to hear, or we just judge. So that's why His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj is saying, before blaming somebody, hear from him, understand. There's another normally referred in corporate world, I was referring earlier also. One elderly person was traveling in a train. So on the next station, one man with the 2 kids enter the compartment. Maybe one kid is 4 years, other one is 6 years. When they enter, the man sits next to this old man, and these kids were playing around. So they were playing little sometime, they started playing, then they started taking some orange, apple, and they throwing each other, and they were playing. So this orange or apple, like a cricket, it was hitting to this old man. So once he said to this man, please tell your kids not to disturb. And so happened that one orange really hit him hard. So that time he screamed at this man, hey, what kind of father you are? Why don't you tell your children behave properly? So that time that father says, what can I tell? They lost their mother last night. We just coming from cremation. I have not even told them their mother is no more. So what do I tell him? What do I tell these kids? So when this father says this, see the mood of this old man. Even if they throw 1,000 oranges like this, he is ready to take. Because before, just few minutes before, he was not aware what is going on there. These kids had no idea they lost their mother. They were behaving normal. They were playing around. So father could not even tell them. So point is that when a situation, if you know the background, we may change our decisions. So point, we need to listen to other person before coming to judgment. So next point is that we may compromise. First is that we may fight it out, blame. Next, we may compromise. Compromise, yes, you are also fault, I am also fault. Let's forget it. So that could be a situation. So without getting into discussion, agree to disagree or whatever, compromise. Maybe another situation could be avoid. Okay, I don't want to get into discussion. I'll just avoid the situation. Maybe in Arjuna's case also could be, he could have said that, Krishna, you are saying one thing, Draupadi is saying one thing, you do whatever, I am leaving from here. He could have said that, right? So I am not going to do anything with the Ashwatthama. You people decide. Avoid, run away from the situation. So that also can happen in our life. Given a situation, we may avoid the situation or you may run away from the problem. That's also possible. So next could be resolve. We may stand there and listen and try to resolve the situation. So that's exactly Arjuna did here. He did not do any of these previous actions. He stood there. He did action which is pleasing to Krishna, at the same time Draupadi. So in our life also, we have to stand there and face it, get the guidelines from the acharyas and shastras and resolve the issue. Because if everybody run away, situation will not be solved, problem will not be solved. So this is the point. So now when we faced with the situation, many times, like Prabhu said, is it right or wrong? That is it dharma or adharma? That is decision making is a challenge. Like in Mahabharata, Duryodhana many times said that, I know what I am doing adharma, but I can't stop it. I am influenced, I am kind of attracted what I am doing it. So he knows, he knew very well, but still he went on doing what is the adharma. So in Bhagavatam it says, Dharmastu Sakshat Bhagavan Pranitam. Dharma means what Lord wants or Lord says. That is dharma. In Mahabharata we have so many instances. We as a society blame Krishna. Why did you like this? Why did you kill Karna like this? Why did you cheat Drona like this? Why did he do like this to Bhishma? All this what he did is adharma. Correct? But Acharya says, Bhagavatam says, what Lord wants, that is dharma. Lord has reason for what he does, and there is a justification if anybody wants. Why Karna? Yes, there is a justification. Who started all these sinful activities? Gorantai Khija, Srila Prabhupada Khija. So many times the society who blame Krishna, they may not have the full knowledge of why Krishna did that. So in our case also, when we decide whether dharma or adharma, we need to keep the yardstick of Bhagavatam, we need to keep the yardstick of Acharya Srila Prabhupada books. If that is yardstick and my action is not influenced by six enemies, urges, then maybe my decision could be right. So many times when you talk about dharma, so actually Srila Prabhupada defines what is dharma means. He says, and a process that teaches how to love God. That is dharma. Islam, Christian, Muslim, Hindu, they are not dharma. A dharma is a religion, is a process that teaches you how to love God. So recently we had His Holiness Jayapataka Maharaj in Bangalore. The whole program was themed Preeti Lakshana. His Holiness Bhakti Purushottam Maharaj spoke 2 days on this topic. I don't recollect whatever he spoke, but one striking point is that he started discussion saying that our movement is not Sanatana Dharma. Our movement is not Sanatana Dharma. Our movement is not Vaishnava Dharma. Our movement is not Sankirtan Dharma. Our movement is Preeti Dharma. Loving exchange of relation among the devotees. That is our movement. So that's how we started the whole discussion. The loving exchange among the devotees is the crux of bhakti. So there your dharma, adharma, right, wrong, normally in material world they say love is blind, right? So when there is a loving exchange, all these other points are ignored or not been bothered to taken seriously. So in among devotees also, when this is taken priority, the loving exchange between devotees is taken priority, all other factors, all other conflicts can be easily resolved. When there is missing on this point, other conflict, we need a conflict management, we need discussion, we need so many things. But when this point is there, that comes on the top. In the love, all other things are taken care. So next day, Sunday, His Grace Mahavara Prabhu spoke the loving exchange between disciple and guru. He spoke almost 1 hour. Mahavara Prabhu, he gave example of Srila Prabhupada. Why Srila Prabhupada gone through so many difficulties in his life? Apparently we see the difficulties. One instruction from his guru, His Divine Grace Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, that you should go out and preach to the Western world. To fulfill that one instruction, he worked for almost 40 years, day and out. To the extent, his own wife, when asked, "You want me or tea?" he said, "I want tea." Of course, all these incidents are, later Srila Prabhupada actually told his disciples that had my wife not told that day, I would not have been here today. Possible. I would not have renounced. I would have continued maybe. So all the incident happened in life, it's for a good. Actually, one of the cases, Srila Prabhupada told his disciples that once Srila Prabhupada went to his father, Jagmohan Day, and said that, I don't like my wife, I want to marry another lady. His father said, no, you have to continue. So again Prabhupada said, if I had married someone else, maybe I would have continued, maybe this movement would not have started. So the point is that whatever the decision is made, he had taken instruction from seniors and he did that and see the result. So Srila Prabhupada did so much for one instruction of his guru. Similarly, Mahavaraha Prabhu mentioned about His Holiness Jayapataka Maharaj. So many incidents, so many cases when he was hospitalized for brain hemorrhage. The world or doctors said there is no chance for him to survive. Even if he survives, he will be like a vegetable. He cannot remember anything. So this is the judgment many of the senior doctors said. But see the mood of Guru Maharaj. Actually, Mahavara Prabhu mentions that later Guru Maharaj revealed that time all the God brothers who had left this planet were calling Guru Maharaj, Jayapataka, come. But Guru Maharaj said, no, I have more work of Srila Prabhupada's instruction to be finished. Let me finish. So that one strong desire to fulfill the instructions of his Guru, he gone through the complete suffering, and we know the result today. He is again going out to the whole world and preaching. So similarly, Mahavara Prabhu mentioned 2018 when his kidney and liver gone bad. He mentions that doctor said there's only 50-50 chance. Maybe Prabhu will be knowing better. So that time, maybe in our case, maybe we would have decided not to go for it. Correct? But what was his intention? His intention was to please Srila Prabhupada, fulfill the instructions of Srila Prabhupada. He gone through that, and again we see the result. He is able to travel all over the world and preach the glories of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Srila Prabhupada. So the mood is that to please Guru. So Mahavaraha Prabhu was mentioning that this is the real love. This is the real love for a disciple to his Guru. For pleasing his Guru, he is ready to do anything. So we as disciples, that time I was meditating about His Grace Mahavara Prabhu, how he is serving Guru Maharaj. So a few days back, I spoke to Shamarasika Prabhu, Guru Maharaj's servant. So I requested him to, can you give me few points about Mahavara Prabhu? So I just read out what Shamarasika Prabhu has written to me. He writes, Mahavara Prabhu, he is serving our Guru Maharaj for past 27 years, we can say, and he is traveling secretary for 19 years. He joined ISKCON during his early days when he was in school. That was Pellam Estate in Malaysia, where his parents were working. He got one elder sister and one younger brother. In his boyhood, he heard some Sankirtana party coming to their estate area and doing Harinam in late 80s. There, Sri Ramachandra temple, where a Kirtan party would stay and give class and perform Kirtans. Prabha Vishnu Maharaj and senior devotees would come for this program. So gradually he got attracted to the Sankirtana and pulled over to this movement. And Guru Maharaj himself visited to this Rama temple few times. They call Guru Maharaj at that time Acharya Pada. Few of Guru Maharaj's disciples stayed there in that temple and preaching there. Mahavara Prabhu and his brother and nephew took shelter from Guru Maharaj. So slow he started to take association of brahmacharis and developed the taste to surrender himself completely for the service of Srila Prabhupada's movement. Simveshwara Prabhu and many others inspired him, and one fine day he came home and said, "I feel feverish." But that day they took family photo, and then without saying anyone he slowly escaped home and joined ISKCON temple. In the year 1992 he got initiated by Guru Maharaj in Kuala Lumpur. Even after many attempts, his parents could not take his determination to serve Krishna as a brahmachari. This young brahmachari started to do all the menial services, trained by serving Vaishnavas, etc. Especially he was engaged by seniors in serving sannyasis and gurus like Tamal Krishna Goswami Maharaj, Prabha Vishnu Maharaj, Bhakti Vrajendra Nandana Swami Maharaj, and of course our beloved Guru Maharaj. One time Prabha Vishnu Swami Maharaj was sick, fever, and Guru Maharaj was also there in that time, in that next room. So he was serving both. So Guru Maharaj asked to keep the glasses separately. Whatever that used for Maharaj, but by mistake Mahavara Prabhu kept it next to other. So immediately Guru Maharaj slapped him, and it was unexpected. And next day Guru Maharaj was leaving and he called Mahavara Prabhu and asked forgiveness for slapping him and hugged him. Like this, the intimacy with Guru Maharaj started to grow more and more. Whenever Guru Maharaj comes to Malaysia, he will be accompanied him throughout Guru Maharaj's stay in Malaysia. He started to serve him as a servant, and then when Guru Maharaj wanted to travel from Malaysia to nearby countries, Mahavara Prabhu got the opportunity to travel like Singapore, Perth, etc. And his humble nature and serving attitude, responsible nature made him more qualified to be a traveling secretary. Then nearly 3 to 5 months he started travel with the Guru Maharaj. When Guru Maharaj had a stroke in 2008, he traveled with the Guru Maharaj to various countries. We can say practically every country: Russia, Europe, North America, South America, Australia, New Zealand, Bangladesh, etc. During 90s and 2000s early, he was vigorously doing book distribution in Malaysia and Thailand, Singapore, Indonesia, etc. Thailand considered to be one of the Maya Desha, Maya's country. There he was preaching with the other brahmachari for months continuously. Very strong brahmachari. When Guru Maharaj had a stroke in 2008, in October 23rd, he was in Malaysia. When he heard this, along with the Simveshwara Prabhu, landed in Mumbai. And all the senior disciples and secretaries of Guru Maharaj recommended Mahavara Prabhu and Ekanath Prabhu to take care of Guru Maharaj. From that time until now, almost 11 years, he never even left Guru Maharaj practically even single day. All other servants would have taken a break, but he has not taken a break. Taking care of Guru Maharaj like holding big responsibility on his shoulder. Guru Maharaj wanted to continue his same preaching and traveling, so Mahavara Prabhu prepared himself to fulfill the Guru Maharaj's desire and also take care of Guru Maharaj's health. First 1 year was a major difficult period, even until now. It is still difficult period, but Mahavara Prabhu and the team got used to this, and he is always prepared to face and expert in dealing with the Guru Maharaj and his health. So, His Grace Mahavara Prabhu ki jai. So this is what Shyamarasika Prabhu has written about Mahavira Prabhu. The reason I am reading is that, at least for me, he is like a role model how we should serve our Guru. How sincere, how compassionate, and how dedicated he is. We had a few interaction with Mahavira Prabhu, especially in Abu Dhabi, whenever he come. He is a very soft-spoken person and very composed, and many times I have seen very firm but very strong and clear communication. Once remember when Guru Maharaj was in Abu Dhabi, Guru Maharaj had to be given he had to be taken some blood for testing. So Acharya Ratna Prabhu, I think he was there, and so they called a nurse from the local hospital to help the doctor to take the blood from Guru Maharaj body. So they were trying for almost 1 hour. They were not getting the right vein to extract blood. Of course, Guru Maharaj was compassionately holding and waiting. So there comes Mahavira Prabhu. He said, hold Guru Maharaj's hand, blood will come. And Acharya Ratna Prabhu hold and requested Guru Maharaj, please help us. Yes, this happened. So point how to the situation because all other devotees were in anxiety. What to do, what we can do. But he was so compassionate, composed, I'll not say compassionate, he was so composed to the situation, and he'll be able to handle the situation. So that's a wonderful devotee who spoke about how and loving exchange between a disciple and Guru should be there. So our movement also, it's as His Holiness Bhakti Purushottam Maharaj said, it's a movement of love and loving exchange. So with that, we can conclude here. So given a situation, we will be able to decide based on what circumstance I am doing it, what action I should do it. Is it my action is as per the instructions of my seniors or Srila Prabhupada, and is it pleasing to Guru? Is it my 6 urges are deciding factor to make the decision? If these guidelines are taken and this loving exchange between disciple and Guru and other disciples, if that is taken care, dharma, adharma can be easily decided. Hare Krishna. Sorry.
You're asking for questions?
No, Mataji, please.
One thing here in Ashwatthama as case, he was given punishment.
Yeah.
But it was mainly to rehabilitate him.
Correct.
The idea was that he'll go and do tapasya and then he'll become purified. So with that compassionate
Correct.
mood.
Correct.
Not to just
Yes.
punish
Punish
get
him.
at him, punish
Yes,
him and
yeah.
avenge him.
Correct.
And so, that is one other thing. When we punish someone, we have to help him to restore. And how can we help him to even, like the judge, the example you said, he understood that maybe I would not have sent her to the thing, but then helped her
Yes.
to reform herself. So that should be our also mood when we are trying to make judgments. But normally it happens that we just see the superficial aspect. They made a mistake, we want to brand them and punish them, and not think about how to
consequence of it.
change their situation. That's
Sure. Thank you, Mataji.
Couple of things I want to about pre-Lakshanam I want to speak during the realizations because it was an important part of our yatra about conflict resolution. The difference between conflict resolution in Krishna consciousness and in the corporate world we have to understand, because most of us are in the corporate world And if you hear the conflict resolution in the corporate world and if you try to apply it here, you will be opposite. The reason is specifically a couple of things I'll say. One is in the corporate world, they'll say in conflict resolution, you should not give any prescription. No, that is wrong. That you cannot give any prescription, you can. In the corporate world, they say that because they don't have any absolute truth to work with. And we have the absolute truth. As you said, you have Sadhu Shastra Guru, and based on that, so yes, you do give judgments and you don't follow what the corporate world does in conflict resolution as far as judgments are concerned. Second thing is they will say that it must not matter to you. Okay? Actually, you shouldn't care.
Do whatever.
There is a sum and substance, you shouldn't care. But in our Krishna consciousness is the exact opposite. We should care about what happens to both of them, and you give after hearing both sides, you give something which is just and which helps both sides.
Both.
You do care. Then these are the two important drawbacks of The third thing is that in conflict resolution in the corporate world, any Tom, Dick and Harry who's trained can come and do that.
Yes.
But in our Krishna consciousness movement, it should be done by someone who knows both the people. Okay? This is the original dharmic system, the panchayat system we have. Why there is justice in panchayat is panchayat takes place at a community level.
Yeah.
In that community, everyone knows each other. So there is no question of fake witness, false things. All those things cannot happen.
Correct.
Because the whole community is over there. It's a small community. Everyone knows what is the truth.
Correct.
Okay? So it is the person, the panchayat members who are giving the judgment. They know everyone involved. They know what is the truth. So they can come with a real judgment.
Yeah.
All this nonsense which happens where, false things, for fake news and bribes and getting, all that disappears. So, in the corporate world, they will say that, anyone can come and do, and they will just hear, and, it is very superficial. So, now, is completely opposite. It is very in-depth, it is very involved, and it is done by people who know. That is the proper way of conflict resolution. So, we shouldn't get carried away by what we learned in the corporate world.
Correct.
Preeti Lakshanam, which is very wonderful that they spoke about this, and I'm very happy that Preeti Swami said that class is not Sanatana Dharma, but
Preeti Dharma.
Preeti
Dharma.
Preeti Dharma. So I'll speak more about that when we have our realization about the Dharma. But it's very good, and I hope whoever went and heard it, there will be a big
Transformation.
change, a transformation in them, because that is what is required. Not that we deal with each other to get an advantage, which is our way of life. But if we have loving exchanges, then everything gets proper. So that's excellent that it's come, and I hope whoever went and whoever heard and whoever will hear in future, they transfer.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you, Mataji. Maybe it's just what Prabhu said. We all heard about 2G scam, right? So, judge acquitted whoever the culprits or accused. Later, I heard somewhere the judge is saying that I'm convinced that they are culprit, but I don't have evidence to give judgment. So that's today's judgment. Judge knows that they are culprit, but he cannot punish them because evidence is not given. So, like Prabhu said, in Panchayat it cannot happen. If a person deciding, if he knows, he will give judgment. He will not look for the external evidence. So that's what happens in our material world today. So similarly, I just remember there was a story of Kaushika Muni. So I'm talking dharma, how, once this Kaushika Muni was doing his meditation. There, few dacoits were chasing a businessman. So this businessman came running and entered the ashrama of Kaushika Muni. So, and went inside and hid himself. These dacoits came and asked, "Where is this man?" Kaushika Muni, being truthful, he said, "He is there." So dacoits pulled him out and killed him and took away all the wealth he had. Later, this Kaushika Muni was put in hell because of this offense. So, if you look at, is it an offense? He told truth, right? What went wrong? He told truth. He didn't let a lie, but he was punished. Okay? So, the truth or lie or dharma, adharma, we cannot judge depending on situation. We have to see the situation. We cannot give every situation could be the same judgment. So in our life also, there is a situation, we'll have to give the yardstick and see where and which is right. So another incident, when Pandavas married Draupadi, they all decided that one brother will stay with Draupadi 1 year. That was so that time Narada Muni and came and discussed with the Pandavas, and he gave a story of I think Sunda and there was two brothers. Two brothers, so wonderful brothers. They were so loving each other. They were caring each other. Everything, whatever they do, they together. They were such a wonderful brothers. But they both got attracted to a lady called Tilottama. And the result is that they both killed each other. They fought each other, and both, died out of their fight. So Narada Muni gave this instruction to Pandavas, and for that he said that, and when he gave this instruction, the Pandavas, they took an vow that if one brother is staying with the Mother Draupadi, other brother will not enter that palace during that time. So if one enters, he has to go 12 years to forest, Vanavas. That is the agreement all the 5 Pandavas had. So once when Yudhishthira Maharaj was with the Mother Draupadi, a Brahmana comes to Arjuna, "Hey Dhananjaya, I need your help." So what happened? So Brahmana says, some thieves, dacoits, taken away my cows, they are killing my cows and they are taking away my wealth. Please give us a protection. As a Kshatriya, his duty is to protect cow and Brahmana. So immediately Dhananjaya said, Arjuna said, "Yes, I will come." But his bow and arrow was inside the room where Yudhishthira and Draupadi was there. So as per the vow, he is not supposed to enter. But if he doesn't go now, the cows will be killed, Brahmana will be in distress. So he enters the Yudhishthira's and Draupadi's room and takes the bow and arrow, goes and defeats the dacoits. After coming back, he comes to the Yudhishthira and says that, "My dear brother, I am going for 12 years to Vanavas." He said, "Why?" "I did an offense. I broke my vow." So Yudhishthira says, "No." And Draupadi also supports. And Yudhishthira gives a judgment or justification saying that if elder brother was with his wife and younger brother can enter because elder brother is like a father mother. So in that case, you are not in any offense. You are, but your purpose was much better. Your purpose was to protect Brahmana and cow. That was most important. So one point I am trying to make here is that when given a situation, we need to see what is the intention behind, what is the purpose behind. When that is the higher purpose, the smaller purpose can be sacrificed. Hare Krishna.
Just beautiful. What you said reminded me of something in the later way about judges, the integrity of judges. So this WhatsApp thing was circulating. And during this Ram Janmabhoomi hearing,
Yes.
the judges and the lawyers are going to take long holidays for Dasara. Going to take long holidays for Deepavali. Both of these are for Rama. And then they will judge whether Rama existed or not. So what is this nonsense?
It's true.
So this is integrity. Na? You cannot just theoretically say something proved when you are accepting it. Otherwise, don't take holiday. Say that I won't take a holiday, I don't believe Lord. So it's very important.
Any other comments? Any questions? Sir, please.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Thank you Prabhu for this wonderful lecture. See, I have two questions, but I'll ask one now. If there's time, I'll ask the other one. See, Prabhu, you were mentioning that when there is this need for the higher
Cause.
No, see, there are two things. The situation of Arjuna in that conflicting situation.